This is Bill Wundram. I call this a few hours between the young and very old. I have just encountered two chapters of life at opposite ends of the compass. Chapter 1. I joined 44 eighth graders of All Saints Catholic School in Davenport, the climax of their life enrichment class, at a country club luncheon. At the age of life or 13, life is an eternity. Everything is possible. Life is always springtime, a time to sing lyrics such as Bruno Mars, "You can count on me. You can count on me. 1, 2, 3. I'll be there, and you'll be there, 'cause that's what friends are for. That's what friends are supposed to do." Ecstatic, I bounced back to my childhood. I joined eighth graders to stand hands to shoulders, singing and swaying to, and I knew when I need, I can count on you like 4-3-2, and you'll be there, 'cause that's what friends are supposed to do. Oh yeah. Chapter 2. After that accelerating luncheon, my disposition turned gray. I drove to visit a nursing home and glumly realized that, in far generations ahead, some of those excited kids might be here, wheeling, nodding in wheelchairs. Life is a coin flip, heads or tails. It's a fine nursing home where life must be precious to seniors, but by any number sat speechless and like in a living room foyer, their chins to their chests. I waved to a sad, very old woman in a long white gown. She made a weak motion to me with a couple fingers. I adjourned at that time to a private room to visit a perky friend who was temporarily in this facility. Then I left, absorbed by the sadness of the woman in the white gown and those silent souls around her, an appraisal of a few hours earlier when I had spent time with those happy teens who have a world ahead of them. The 44 kids from All Saints were dining at the Davenport Country Club for an etiquette lunch. Every boy had a necktie and wore spiffy blazers or sweaters. The girls were adorable. "Don't they look wonderful?" beamed Jeannie Van Felt, the school's principal. They displayed the ultimate in good manners, an important subject in their 4 times weekly classroom called Game of Life. They're taught budgeting, how to interview. All this was intended to prove good manners in a classic setting. It was not an excuse. It was not an exercise in grabbing a Big Mac from a drive-up window, but rather handling the silver and dining on chicken marsala. I listened to the kids who spoke up loudly and brightly. Liz said she intends to become a veterinarian because I love animals. I told Liz that veterinary medicine was once my plan too, but after 1 semester in college, it was a hopeless academic goal, and I turned to the typewriter instead of sick dogs. All were so certain, all were so confident, so confident of themselves. All were so downright happy and hopeful. And then I turned to my visit at the nursing home. It was a stark comparison. I wondered about the thoughts of those who sat so speechless in wheelchairs or lounges. Are they thinking of yesterday's good life and tomorrow's future? I looked again at the thin woman in the white gown, and I waved goodbye. This time she held up a hand and waved. In her young days she must have been very pretty, and would have sung "You Can Count on Me," like 1, 2, 3. I bet she would have yelled out, "Ooh, yeah, yeah," too. It's a shame we can't all be forever young.